YouTube, it's your boy Logan Lee. We back with another YouTube video today. As for the title, we are reacting to the worst parents on TikTok. This video was recommended to me by a good friend of mine. But yeah, let's get back to the video.
Kevin,
the resilient Jenkins are the worst parents on TikTok. Not only do you have 5 kids sleeping in a one-bedroom apartment to the point where they're sleeping in the damn kitchen.
Okay, now, I mean,
one-bedroom apartment and decide to live in a motel? What? This ain't The Walking Dead season 1. What are you doing? And it's honestly a sad situation for the children.
It is a pretty sad situation.
In this terrible environment due to how their parents are acting.
I get that, but at the same time, but I don't know. Let me see the reason why. You know, I can't just go off from the first intro. I just need to watch the full story, you know? I can't just get my thoughts out
and a mother named Stephanie and 5 other children. Now, you would think that this is a love story. The kids are happy. The parents are happy. Everybody's happy, right? Well, no. This is maybe one of the most concerning TikTok pages I've ever seen in my life, in which this family and the children that are part of this family due to their parents' neglect. Damn. So like I said, guys, there's 2 parents in this situation, Drew and Stephanie. Drew and Stephanie fell in love and they chose to live with each other, right? Drew in this case is living in a government housing apartment. Apartment built for just him and his son. Stephanie, with her own 2 kids, decides to move in with Drew, in which now they are a happy family of 5 living in this one-bedroom apartment being housed by the government. So you guys would think that the parents in this situation are responsible, all right? They've got 3 children living in this one-bedroom apartment. Right. And you would think that they would go out and get jobs. Right. No, not only do they not go out and get jobs, they decide to have 2 children of their own together, in which now there are 7 human beings living in this one-bedroom apartment. She's got videos up of her taking out the dining room table to make room for the kids so that they'll be able to have somewhere to sleep.
As you can read in the caption above,
are you serious?
No.
Now, you remember what I said about how this is a government housing apartment, and it was made for only 2 people, Drew and his son. Government housing programs are really strict on the amount of people that can live in one apartment. So over time, guess what happens? The government finds out, and they eventually send out an eviction notice to Drew here, the person that has his name under the apartment. Mind
of course.
You remember what I said on how they don't have jobs? These jokers weren't even paying the rent for months.
Are you serious?
On top of that, the man in this situation, Drew, refuses to work a job. My brother is not working any type of 9 to 5. He's working 9 to PS5 because every single time we see him, he's on a video game talking to the homies. Gotcha. Bro, and this entire situation is so crazy because this said account on TikTok makes thousands of dollars a month. I make TikToks online, and I can tell you that this person's page right here is racking in bank off these videos. Every single video that this page has over millions.
I mean, of course.
But what's not making sense to me is that how you...
Since their environment went viral, they have the options to take advantage of that. So yeah.
Getting paid off these TikToks, but you're still getting evicted to the point where you don't know where you're going to live. So eventually the day comes in which they get evicted. They pack up all their belongings in this apartment and they move their kids out of it. And guess where they going, decide to live? They decide to move their 5 children that are all under the age of 12 into a motel.
Oh my God.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Why, bro? Why?
How interesting. Just look at that.
I mean, damn, come on, bro.
Nah, I gotta say something about this.
Living with them.
My thing is that you're saving up money and you're moving out your apartment, but it's not okay to do it while you have kids. You know what I mean? Like, it would be different if it'd be 2 couples, you know? But like 7 kids? Are you serious? A mobile hotel? Are you for real? Be on no one's tip or not, but like, that kind of looks bad on you, my boy. I mean, especially the man, though. You gotta provide for your family. Like, come on, dude. Let's be for real. And on top of that, you could just live with your grandma or any relative, but instead you live in a hotel. Nah.
The apartment, and Stephanie here makes a video talking about, oh well, I'm just gonna let the cats roam outside.
What?
will not have indoor cats when we move. But we feel now it's just the best interest in all of our family members to have them just be outdoor kitty.
Nobody is safe in the responsibilities of these two terrible parents. Even the cats are getting evicted.
Damn.
Now, luckily, people on TikTok found the cats and took them into their own households. But here's where the story gets a little weird, right? Stephanie, in one of her videos, says that her mother offered to have them live with her.
What?
Taking my mom up on her offer and me and my kids going to stay with her. That is just not gonna
Why
happen.
you not going to take that offer? Are you serious? But you won't live in a one-star hotel. Are you for real?
So let me get this straight. Your mother offered you and your 5 children and your non-working ass husband to live in her household so that you don't have to live in a motel, but you decide to decline that offer because you're prideful?
I can't co-sign that, big brother.
You're ear to ear smiling in a U-Haul truck after being evicted with your 5 children and your bummy ass non-working husband in a motel. In the midst of them moving into this motel, people online found out what motel they were living in and got them kicked out.
I find it interesting you follow us
What?
around. Didn't want to say hi. You also
They just got there. That's the crazy part. They probably lived there for like a good 2 weeks. I'll say 2 weeks.
Miserable, you gotta be
I'll say 2 weeks.
to come out of family that's not doing anything to you.
Now, I'll be the one to say that that's kind of insane. Having people follow you around in public, as she said in the video, and having people find out
Nah, that is pretty insane.
and get you kicked out of your living situation with your children is
There are some
absolutely
B1
insane,
haters,
and I'm
though.
not going to justify that. I think that's fucking crazy.
Yeah, that is
because now
crazy.
the living situation they're in is very unknown, in which they might be homeless. The situation has gotten so bad that her kids at school are being recognized from the videos. And on top of that, Drew's baby mama has gotten involved, Stephanie's mother has gotten involved, and it's became something completely disturbing.
What?
There's a ton of TikTok.
Why she pray on her downfall though? That's the thing though. I mean, that's a parent's decision, I'll say. But my thing is, it's not the kid's fault. It's the parents' fault. So you can't really get mad at that part.
From the apartment.
Y'all can sit up and talk about Ash Trevino every single day.
You do.
But I make videos about the resilient Jenkins, and y'all sit there and have a damn fit.
Take it down.
Because in the grand scheme of all this, the individuals that get the short end of the stick here are the children. Because those children don't get to live a normal life like their friends at school due to how irresponsible their parents are. They didn't choose to be on camera. They didn't choose to live in this circumstance. They didn't choose who their parents were. And unfortunately, they have to suffer their consequences. This poverty mindset and this poverty living because of their parents. Their mother and father don't want to work a job. Every time we see the dad, he's on the game. He got a headset on. Stephanie thought it was a great idea to move her own children into a 1-bedroom apartment that is being housed by the government. On top of that, you choose to have 2 more children in that 1-bedroom apartment. This is absolutely insane, and it's totally irresponsible by these 2 grown adults. These aren't 20-year-olds. These aren't 22-year-olds. These aren't 24-year-olds. These are 2 grown adults with a functioning brain that decided to have children in this world that they don't even know what they're doing in. Bro, and it's so ridiculous because this situation could have been entirely avoided. You're making well over $10,000 a month off TikTok, and you're telling me you couldn't find a place to house your children? And on top of that, your own mothers.
That's how you be making from TikTok? For real? Wow. That's crazy. I did not know that.
That she would house you and your family, but you instead denied that and say that you're too prideful.
Who is responsible for this mess?
And on top of that, you have now made your living standards entirely harder. For all my young viewers out there, let me bring you some information on the real world once you grow up. Once you get evicted from an apartment, it becomes entirely harder to find another apartment.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Notice in an apartment. The landlord makes a complaint and
it's no joke. They'll put you out. No joke.
Eventually coming to a judge in which they send out the eviction notice to you. An eviction stays on your record for 7 years. So once you try
Word.
to apply for another apartment, apartments are most likely going to deny you because you got evicted. Now, in the case of the Jenkins family, this is horrible because they have 5 children, in which now it is going to be entirely harder to find housing for those 5 children because of the irresponsibilities that you and your husband have done. This is such a horrible situation that shouldn't even be documented. You're getting evicted from your apartment with your 5 children and your bummy ass husband, and you decide to document that? You think that's something to be prideful for on the internet? You're gonna document the eviction of your kids for a bag? It pisses me off so much because how fucking ridiculous this entire thing is. But man, that's all I really want to talk about, bro. I saw the situation unfolding on TikTok, and I wanted to talk about it because, damn, bro, nobody's talking about the kids in this situation and how they're gonna feel. Because if Child Protective Services gets involved, they're gonna split this.
Guys, the video's over. Let me know in the comments, should I do more videos like this? But till then, I'll see you guys later. And yeah.